And we're live. Hello. Hello everybody. It's Sunday the 31st of May. In an ideal world we all would have been out today getting the cars ready for St Angelo for next week for the Earn Trophy Sprint. Unfortunately these things aren't happening this year because of circumstances we're all more than aware of. Nothing we can do about it, but it was a cracker weekend. I have to thank everybody that's tuned in tonight to watch this for giving up their time outside in that lovely weather, and also thank the two girls here as well for giving up their evening out in the sun. What a cracker night to sit outside with a glass of something cold and just enjoy life and watching the world go by. But the two girls along with all of you have forfeited that to come and talk to me or listen to me talking to them. I don't know. You might be better in the sun. Anyway, with as we said earlier in the week, Ken Colbert, for those of you who watch Ken Colbert, Ken's interview was brilliant. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I know I could have chatted away to Ken all evening, and I'm sure you could have listened to Ken all evening. It was very, very good, very enjoyable. And tonight, as I say, we've got two guests this evening who are going to also keep us amused. And we'll move on to that in a second. The two girls here now, you will all know from around the paddock, both of which are guaranteed to give a bit of crack. I know anytime I can hear them with a camera, there's no shortage of laughs and banter and carry on. Anytime you can hear the full stop, there's no shortage of laugh and crack and banter and carry on. So what we'll do now is we'll move across and let the two girls introduce themselves. So, girls, over to you. Kathy, do you want to go first?
Yep. Okay. So I'm Kathy McDade. Other people might know me as Jimmy Heslop's daughter, and I am 36. I'm from Vietnam.
Cheryl, your turn.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Cheryl. I'm, you want to say the age? Oh God, I'm 31. I'm Colin McBride's daughter. Yeah.
Happy days. And yous are both keen sprint drivers, both of whom have actually entered this year's new award, which we'll talk about in a minute or two, both of which are doing well. Cheryl, you're actually leading that this year.
Yay!
And it's turning out to be quite a battle royale, although we've only had two counting rounds. But it's very close. It's very, very close actually. And it looks like it's going to be a great battle as the year fires on. So, we'll start from the start then. Cheryl, what car do you drive now? Race car?
I drive a Global GT1.
Okay.
So it's a wee space framed Tupperware box with an R1 engine in it.
Right, okay. A wee bit more technical than a Tupperware box. It's a great going wee article.
It is. Well, I mean, it only weighs 370 kilos, plus me, which we're not going to talk about. So the part of weight ratio is pretty good.
Yeah, and you've had some good results in it so far this year. One class win and a second, isn't it?
Yeah, getting there. It was a bit of a jump from the old car, so I'm definitely still learning it. I was really pleased at Kirkiston. My fastest time in the dry was like a second slower than even Matheson's time in the wet. And I was like, no.
Another run, you maybe could have beat him.
Yeah, I could have beat him, definitely.
I see Kathy's having signal issues here at the minute, so we'll just wait till Kathy comes back. Kathy, you're back again? Yeah. Right, Kathy, tell us, what's your competition car?
My current competition car is a Seat Leon 1.8 20 valve Cupra.
Okay. And do you enjoy driving that? I've lost Kathy, her internet. Where's Kathy? She'll be back in a second. We're waiting on Kathy coming back, so I'll ask you this one. You all know that I call my wee car Betsy. Have you any pet names for your wee car? Now, only the repeatable ones.
Oh, well,
Kathy has had to leave us here. Excuse me a wee second. I try and dial Kathy back in again and see if we can get this sorted.
We'll call it Kermit. Because whenever when I bought it, it was the Kermit the Frog sticker.
Okay. Just bear with me one wee second here. I'm going to try and add Kathy back in again if I can remember how to do this. So just bear with me, please. And tonight is the night that I need my technical help when it's not here. Kathy. We'll ring Kathy, yep.
Do you want me to do it for you?
I think we're maybe winning here. It's contacting. Where are we, Kathy? Where are you? It's ringing. Must be an issue at her end. We'll have another go here in a wee second. Just bear with me. See me with technology. Kathy. Right. Okay. It mustn't be connected at her end. She's not getting. Have another go at this. No. Right. What we'll do, Cheryl, is we'll fire on here, and I give it a few minutes here, see if it clears her end, and then I'll try dialing in again with Kathy. So, where were we? Yes, we figured out you drive Kermit.
Kermit.
And it's exceptionally light power to weight ratios, which is
That's it.
bound to be good fun.
We should be getting better times, but we're very fast in the straights and then a little bit too slow in the corners. So we're getting there.
But that's something you can work on.
That's it.
It's definitely something you can work on. So, what got you involved in motorsport?
Well, obviously my dad has been doing hill climbs for years. I was trying to think of dates. There's no point asking him because he never remembers. But, I mean, I definitely remember his first car that he raced was like a 4x4 Sierra, and it had a tow bar. And I remember whenever I was a kid was my first pony fighting him because I had a horse show at the weekend and he wanted to go racing. And we used his racing car to tow the horse box. So... So that was, initially I wasn't a big fan because I wanted the car to tow my horse to go to competitions, but whenever I started doing a wee bit less with the horse, then I think he kind of introduced motorsport to be like, oh yeah, look at this, no more horses, and then unfortunately I ended up doing both, so we lost out on that one.
And of course the motorsport's the favourite.
Oh, definitely. I mean, 150 horses versus one, you know.
Yeah. I know exactly. I would prefer the motorsport myself. I got to have another go here trying to dial Kathy back in again, so just bear with me. Where are we here? That one does it. Kathy. It's still contacting. Search for people. I'll try it. See when you're not very literate on something. Kathy has it. Let's contact them. Right. It must be off her end completely.
Yeah. She's maybe lost her connection.
Yeah. We'll fire on and we'll come back to trying to get Kathy here shortly. While in case she gets to sort herself out, and she can't even phone me because my phone's on airplane mode, because if I don't do that it interferes with what I'm doing. Sorry, yes. What was your first competition car then, Cheryl?
It was a VTS Saxo. Basically, I was always quite interested in going out and doing sprints and hills, but my dad's car, the seat doesn't move forward. Okay. And I'm obviously pretty bit shorter than him, so I could never reach the pedals. So eventually, when he was working over in London, he saw a wee VTS Saxo in Gumtree for 300 quid.
Right.
And he brought it home for me, welded a roll cage into it and was stuck some Toyos on it, and that was me. So the first competition was Cultra in 2014.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was they did a similar thing, but not quite as same. They did the latent class, but what they did differently was if you were in the ladies' class, you were just in the ladies' class. So the first one, I had the fastest time in my class. So I think at that point we were like, oh, maybe I'm not that bad.
Uh-huh.
We kept going back.
Well, you certainly enjoyed it. You did, what, about 3 years that wee Saxo?
Yeah, I did a full year of the championship, and I think I did maybe 2 hills and 1 sprint in 2014. 2015, I did the whole year and won the championship. And then whenever I'd done that, he was like, right, you can have a proper car. And I got a permit, and then obviously I got pregnant with my wonderful son, so I had to take a few years off.
And that was when you returned to McCormick?
Yeah, it was after my extended maternity leave, so I came back.
Oh, for those that are wondering, Kermit's the car, not the child. It's just the way we said that, it maybe just didn't sound great, you know. Did she call away in Kermit? I see, oh, there's Kathy's back. I was just about to say we'll log into Kathy, and she's rejoined us again. Hi Kathy, you're back again.
Yeah, it just went dead after I spoke.
It's maybe a sign, Kathy, it's maybe a sign.
It's possibly a sign, yeah, possibly. It's always my fault anyway, so I always get the blame for everything, so.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. It's a bit like that in this house. Even when you're not here and something happens, it wasn't me. You know? Maybe that's the case everywhere. When she sees us here, I'll be getting chased. We've got Kathy, in your absence, sorry, which I've dialed in a couple of times, and I'm not very great with the old technical support. So Cheryl and I carried on a bit. What we'll do is we'll go back now. Cheryl's had a head start, shall we say, and it's your chance now to pedal back and catch her.
She's always the way. She's always going to head start.
Cheryl's only about
She's
halfway.
Always ahead of me.
Well, at the minute she's only halfway between Tyres and Colonial, so you're going to have to paddle like the hammers to catch you here before Fisherman's. Kathy, how's that sound?
It's a big task. It's a big job you're asking me to take on there.
No, there's no better girl for the job. Sorry, we got back as far as that. What car do you drive?
Yes, I currently drive a 1800 20 valve Seat Leon Cupra.
Right, okay. That is a mouthful.
Yes, it is. I had to write it down.
Have you indeed? Well, we also know that you have a different name for it. I'm going to ask you this one. You know yourself. I call my motor Betsy. Cheryl has admitted that she calls hers Kermit. So, Kathy, what pet name have you got for your wee car?
Do you want the pet name for the car or for the driver, or both?
We'll go with the car first, and then you can tell us the driver one, if you choose.
I call it. It gets various names to be fair, but I call it Tweety Pie or Old Yeller.
Old Yeller, right.
Yeah, I don't, probably because it's yellow, you know, to be fair. But yeah.
And are you going to share the other name or not?
Well, yeah, okay. Seeing as we're amongst friends here, yeah, I would call myself Big Bird then to go along with Tweety Pie. So. I would rather call me that myself that than have somebody else call me it, so you know.
Well, I'm saying nothing because I'll only end up with thick ear and a sore lip, so I'm saying nothing. So, Kathy, what first got you involved in motorsport? Cheryl here said it was down to her father as an influence, and something tells me it might be the same in your house.
There's a bit of deja vu. You're going to have it here, yeah, absolutely. Anybody who knows my dad, he has been into cars from a very, very young age. It was only yesterday I actually found out just how young he's actually started. He started in stock cars at the age of 12.
Okay.
Believe it or not. I find that quite scary to believe, to be honest. But yeah, 12, driving stock cars at Ballyskay, right up until the point where it actually closed. And he was the youngest driver in Ballyskay at that time.
Oh, indeed.
That's where it initially started, but obviously, as everybody knows, or most people know, he's got quite a history in stock cars, rallycross. He did autographs at one point, and he's now into sort of sprints and hill climbs, and he's hopefully going to be back into rallies as well soon. So, yeah, started quite young.
If it's got a wheel and a set of pedals, he seems to have had a go at driving it.
Well, yeah, and actually I remembered something today. I do recall him actually having a motorbike at one point as
surely
well.
not.
Now, granted, granted, I think if I remember, he never raced it now, thank God, but I think he only just drove it back and forth to work at that stage, you know. So, yeah, I do remember him actually having a motorbike at one point as well.
I can't imagine it was a normal
A
commute
bit of
with Jimmy
everything,
on a bike.
if it's got, as you say, if it's got with.
Oh,
He must have pulled the plug before she gave away the trade secrets there. Yeah. So in both cases here, with both these girls, they seem to be a chip off the old block when it comes to the family involvement in motorsport.
no, definitely. Does Kathy have any brothers? Do you
Yes,
know?
she does have a brother. We're just asking there, Kathy, you have a brother. Has he done any motorsport?
Yes, I do have a younger brother who is 10 years younger than me, actually. So obviously I put my mum and dad off for a while when they had me. My brother has absolutely no interest in cars whatsoever. He is very much tractor orientated, and always has been.
Not a bad way to be.
But I was always running sprints and stuff with my dad when I was a young child. So it's probably a natural progression, you know, for me to take it on or attempt it anyway.
Well, now's a good time when you're both on. This year we've introduced a new category or a new challenge into the SW Adair Tyres Northern Ireland Sprint Championship to give it its full title. And it's called the Sprint Championship Hislop Ladies Challenge Award. Do you want to give us some of the background in that, Kathy, or do you want me to do it?
Well, I can help you out if you want, but if you want to start there, no problem.
Well, it all started back in a conversation at Kirkeston at the first round of the Northern Ireland Rally Championship with Kathy and her dad and myself. Are you still there, Kathy? She will come back. It's reconnecting again. You're back again. It all started at Kirkeston. We had a chat, and your dad was asking me about running a ladies' championship, and I says, yeah, I have no objections. Maybe a wee bit late in the year. By this stage, our permits had been issued, our regulations had been done and signed off. The speed committee had met, and we were, was it a week or fortnight before our first event, Kathy? I think it was a week. So anyhow, bit of a conversation started. Kathy will come back again. Had a bit of a conversation. You're back again. And we hatched the idea to have the Sprint Championship, or the Sprint Championship Hislop Ladies Challenge Trophy. And Jimmy agreed to sponsor us the trophy for that. But rather than have a championship award where it literally went to the fastest girl on the day, we decided to do it somewhat differently, and that we did it in relationship to where the girl finished amongst her peers in her class. So that meant that the person driving the fastest car wasn't necessarily going to win the award. It was similar along the same lines to the Leaders Championship. Me and terminology. So you get points for doing timed run, and you get points for your position in your class in relation to your competitors in your class, which makes it fairer for everybody concerned. And as I say, this year it has been very close. There's only 1 point separating Cheryl, who's leading it, from Emma. Olivia's third, and she's only 3 points in front of Kathy. And we've only had 2 rounds, and Kathy, you only have done one of those rounds, haven't you?
I've only done one round. I was actually away for the first round, unfortunately, which I couldn't get out of the weekend away. Unfortunately, it was a hen weekend, so I couldn't miss that, obviously.
Imagine
so,
missing motorsport to go out for a crowd of girls. They're sick.
It was a weekend. It was 2 nights.
So, all in all, it seems to be a very close battle, and it's something that's going to prove very interesting as the year goes on. What's your thoughts on it? Are you happy enough with the idea of it?
I'll let you go, Cheryl.
Great. I think it's a wee bit of camaraderie for the ground, that it's not such a. I mean, we always feel super welcome, but it is, we are a wee bit of a minority, so it sometimes does feel like the minimal girls in the boys' club, or a wee girls' club in the boys' club.
Yeah.
There's actually.
Yeah, it's definitely creative. Sorry.
No, go on ahead, Kathy, go on ahead.
It's going to say it literally has created with a competition within a competition now. So I'm not sure whether I like the idea now, but sure. I'm looking forward to having a go at it anyway.
Well, as I said earlier on, we've 4 already that are registered. There's Cheryl, there's Emma Campbell, we've got Olivia Coulter, and yourself, Kathy, who's have all scored points. But we've also got Amy Hawthorne as well, who has registered, and she intends to be joining us later in the season. Had it not been for COVID, she may well have been out on ice. That would be 5 girls, and there's been a few others that have contacted with interest about it, so it seems to be growing and seems to be attracting people to the sport, which is a bonus. So I think it's one that certainly, it's definitely one to watch, and I think at the end of the year it's going to be ridiculously close, which is what it's all about. It really is. It's what it's all about. So, back to the schedule questions that I had written down. And we're going to start with Kathy here before she leaves us again. Kathy, what was your first competition car?
Well, I'll start by telling you what my first actual event was that gave me the bug for it, actually, if I didn't already have the bug before that. My first event was actually a track day at Kirkuson in 2014. I had to check the date on that, actually, and it was in my dad's blue WRX Subaru.
He let you listen to that around Kirkuson?
Yeah, funny enough, it's been in the shed ever since. I don't know why, but it is still in one piece, like, to be fair. Yeah, and then actually when I decided I really wanted to do sprints and stuff, he actually got me a Ford Ka, which you may or may not remember, a wee green Ford Ka, which he actually got from the local scrapyard, believe it or not. Probably didn't want to spend too much on it in case I didn't want to take it up any further than that, or if I was going to wreck it or anything. But yeah, and then eventually sort of moved up to Ford Puma after that and ran it for a couple of years, and now I'm onto the Leon. So I actually dropped a bit of a bombshell on him this morning and said I wouldn't mind going up a few more classes maybe in the next couple of years. But he took it actually pretty well,
He, I bet you as soon as you left the house, he had the keys of the white Subaru anyway.
No, he doesn't actually. There's a bit of another bombshell for you. He actually doesn't have that Subaru now. He sold it about 10 days ago. Yeah, I drove it as well a couple of times, actually. Yeah, I drove it a couple of times in amongst everything else. But no, he's like, he was working on his new car that he's building at the minute. He says, sure, you can drive this. And I'm like, no, it's okay. I got it on my own. It's a lot of car.
And Cheryl, I think we sort of talked on it. What was your first competition car?
I was in the BTS Saxo.
Oh, yes. And you did the sprints and the hills and whatever in it. You were telling me that.
I did all hills. Yeah, I think I only did 1 or 2 sprints. So sprints are relatively new to me. It's a green one. I'm not allowed to do hills until I earn my stripes in the green one. Too much fiberglass.
Yeah. Bound to be a bit of a handful, that wee thing, especially if it's damp or wet.
Yes, well, you see, it's really good because I just keep thinking that I'm a terrible driver, and then everyone keeps being really nice and explaining to me why. It's very difficult to drive things like it's a really short wheelbase and the motorbike engine and stuff, but I'm having fun. It's the best thing I've ever driven. It's like it's coming between a fast car and a motorbike. It's a sequential gearbox. It's great.
It certainly seems like you're having fun. You have a quite laugh and smile in your face there when you're talking about it. So that's ultimately what it's all about: getting out, having a bit of fun, and enjoying yourself. And that's something Kathy certainly does as well. We know that from talking to her. So, girls,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to ask the next one, but I'm going to start with Cheryl this time. Cheryl, what is your favourite event and why?
Um, I have to be a little bit honest. Today did my favourite event in the sprint. Probably Castle is my favourite, but when we're talking about sprints, so I love
No. It's literally your favourite. If Castle is your favourite, go for it. You'll not offend me by talking about the hills.
Castle is my favourite. I love Castle, and I have been harassing my father from we got that green card to let me take it to Castle. So that's another really good thing about the ladies' championship because it's really motivating me to go to every single sprint that I can. And the more sprints to get under my belt, the more likely I am to be the largest within hills.
Well, that's good too. It keeps the stuff for us.
I do love Ferguson. I like that it's sort of a bit bigger and not smaller. But I'm still learning how to drive the car, and the car is very small. Whereas Ferguson is a lot more enjoyable. It's not as nerve-wracking.
Yes, I know what you mean. Kathy, what would be your favourite event and why?
I've only done this event once, and that would have to be St Angelo's.
Yeah, I know why you're coming.
Yeah, I agree. I listened to your interview with David Hawthorne the other night, David and Stephen Hawthorne, and I agree with David. Absolutely, St Angelo's, without a doubt.
It's definitely brilliant. It's just a shame it's so far away for us.
That's true, but you go and you see different people, you see different cars, it's a much bigger space, and sure, if you get a crowd, if you're going from the same area, it's good crack as well.
Well, we've had that this last couple of years because we've always ended up sort of roughly in the same area down there, so in the paddock, so yeah, I know where you're coming from. It is a great circuit, it's a great driver circuit, and realistically, if it hadn't been for COVID, we'd all have spent the day getting ready for it. You'd have been in changing the oil and getting it all checked over, wouldn't you, Kathy?
Oh yeah, totally.
Cheryl, you would have too, wouldn't you?
Totally.
Yes. As it would have been next week, but circumstances dictate these things. But anyhow, there's nothing we can do about it. So we just have to grin and bear it. And sure, if it hadn't been for lockdown, we wouldn't have been doing this. So, the next question then. When we mention lockdown, it leads me quite well on. And we'll go with Kathy with this one first. Kathy, have you been working at your car during lockdown? And if so, what have you done? Or has Jimmy been working at your car? And if so, what has he done?
I was going to say I'm lucky, but actually it's really my dad's quite lucky. There's very little actually ever needs done with my car, so it would always be him that would be doing it anyway. I can't take credit for any work that gets done on my car. Even I might wash it, maybe that'll be about it, But we've been very, very lucky with it. We did have a few problems at sort of this when I first got it. It kept blowing turbo hose off and splitting it, and it's a car that runs quite warm. So my dad, you'll have noticed in the last sort of few months for this season anyway, has now decided to put a bonnet vent on it to get the air into it to keep it cool.
Yeah.
But that's the extent of any work that's been done on it. And if there is to be any future work done on it, it'll probably be done the week before any event, and that'll be it.
I noticed, was it the start of this year, or the tail end of last year, at the Rally Car Test Day, that you first trialled the extra cooling capacity in it.
Yes. Think so? Yeah. Yeah.
That was it. Oh, you're getting me now. That was an unplanned modification.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a slight disagreement with the barrier. Stepped out on me, I couldn't help it.
They're just so unpredictable, those barriers.
I know. I'm just so grateful there was a bale between me and the barrier, to be fair, but I drove on. I reversed out and drove on, so I was happy enough with that. I did have a slight panic going, okay, what am I going to do now? I was like, right, I'll get into reverse. If I can drive it forward, it'll still go. I'll get round, I'll get back into the pits, it'll be fine.
And it didn't stop you from memory, you kept going afterwards.
Oh, I kept going, yeah, nothing stopped me. Nothing will stop me. Like, the wheels will have to be hanging off before I'll stop, yeah, absolutely.
So, Cheryl, have you been working at your car during lockdown, or rather, has your dad been working at it? And what have you done?
I'm not gonna lie, I've had my chief mechanic doing nothing to my house whenever he's been up for a little. I've got all the new light switches, I have a little trailer, I've got all sorts of stuff done in my house. So no, he hasn't been working on my car because I've been making him do all stuff like that. But because I haven't been out all the time, I've been saving up my beer tokens for some Avon Flex. So I'll hopefully get those when we get back out after lockdown.
Yeah. Set of slicks will make a core difference for you too. You'll be able to catch him in now.
Oh, that's it. I've been really nice.
Well, guys, the next one here, and I'm going to ask you first, Cheryl. What would be your most memorable moment in your motorsport career?
I don't know. There's so many. I've been thinking about this one for ages and ages. I guess, I don't know. I mean, they're all so memorable. What I really love about motorsport is no matter what, every time you go, everybody's so friendly, everybody's always giving you advice. I mean, I am really bad for just telling myself how bad that I am, and everyone goes like, oh, you know, there's this, there's that, if you did this, why didn't you try that? And I love that. Compared to a lot of sort of sports and things that I've done, everyone's so willing to give you advice and what they think might work versus people being like, it's not telling anything, there's a competition. So, I mean, every time I go out quite memorable, there's always something new to learn, something like that. So, I know it's a great politician answer, but...
Well, you're being honest. You've just hit the nail on the head about something that's been said a few times. It's a big motorsport family. It's not like friends. It's like family when you're out there. Would you agree with that one?
Definitely.
Yeah, nice. What about you, Kathy? Did you think?
I absolutely, you know, most of the people now that are at the sprints or even just come to spectate, like, we've known them for years, you know, like of Chris Byers and Joan Gilbert, you know, like Joan's my Auntie Joan effectively, you know, because we've known her for so long. Yeah, it is just the family atmosphere, and everybody's so friendly and chatty, and they always have time for you, no matter what they're doing, maybe for their own, you know, in their own car, or, you know, it's definitely, you know, it makes it worthwhile, to be honest. Yes, obviously people want to go out and maybe win prizes, but sometimes it's just a bit more, you know, it's about more than just winning prizes. It is about that friendly atmosphere and feeling welcomed.
Yeah, no, yeah, I would totally agree with you. What do you think would be your most memorable moment in motorsport?
Well, there's a couple of things actually. I have won a couple of prizes in the past, but there was two particular days, actually both at Nuts Corner, believe it or not. Your dad would remember this, David. The day I absolutely annihilated a Ford alloy wheel.
Well,
on the Puma.
remember that?
And I actually have the piece that was left on the car, which is basically this.
Oh.
Yeah, and thankfully it was only on the practice run, and we managed, well, I say we, I didn't do anything. My dad and my friend managed to get it fixed. I think I bent the wishbone and everything in the front of the car and everything, but that was the one bit that was actually left on the car. But I got out again and I did my rest of my practice run and the 3 timed runs. So that was that. I think I was probably, everybody says, oh, you're the only one that I know who can bust a Ford alloy wheel. The other thing, which this person is probably, I'm not going to say any names, but you'll know who I mean when I describe the car to you. To one event, one timed run at Nuts Corner, and I beat this particular person who was in class 6B in a white Civic. I beat his time. I only did it once, and it was a very small, like, a wee narrow edge on him, but I was delighted. It was never repeated again, and probably will never be repeated ever again. But yeah, I was quite chuffed at that, to be fair. Because at that stage, I was still in my Puma, so I was like, oh, that's great. I'm doing something. Either I was doing something very, very right, or he was doing something very wrong, but I was quite chuffed at that. So you'll know who I mean. I'll not say any names.
I do recall that day question, and he just didn't have a good day. He was sitting watching this. I know he's sitting watching it because he told me earlier on when I was talking to him he'd be watching it. And it's actually the only day I ever beat him as well, was that day at Nuts Corner. We've been close, but it's the only day I've ever beat him in a straight out run, was that particular day too. He has a list of excuses.
I remember looking at the times after I had done my run, and I looked at mine and I looked at his, and I thought, am I reading that wrong? But I never said anything. And then he happened to come in later on and looked at the times as well. He said to me, Kathy, you beat me on that. I'm like, yeah, I know.
I heard the phone beep in there. I thought it was him,
never
but it's
been
not.
Repeated. He obviously was having a very bad day then. But sure, these things happen. These things. He took it. I don't think he lost any sleep over it anyway. I don't think he had anything to worry about after that. So.
It was like water off a duck's back. I think he probably ended up here that evening. So.
Although he did change classes after that. He did get a new car after that. So maybe
yes.
encouraged them.
And he hasn't done a lot in it yet to let you beat him. So there's still time. You can still do it. You'll get him again.
I don't know. It might be a hard task, to be fair, but I'll give it a good go.
Of course you will. Of course you will.
Of course.
Oh dear. So that's the contentious bit over. I'll be getting a phone call or a message here when this nice switch this back on again. Rest assured, Kathy, we'll both have put something through. Well, Kathy.
Probably. I've already got a couple of messages through from other people. I'm dread to read them.
Now that you're on a roll, Kathy, tell me, who would be your motorsport idol?
Oh God, do you know what? I was thinking about this and I thought that it's quite easy for me to say, oh, it's my dad or whatever. But I think just basically anybody that's in that pit, in those pits, just going their absolute hardest, having a great time, could be anybody's idol. I'll leave it at that.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. And that's what it's all about, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Anybody that's just absolutely willing to go out there and give it a go.
That's what we're all here to do. Cheryl, who would be your motorsport idol?
Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights. You know the NASCAR driver?
I know the film, but I've never watched it.
You should watch it. And then you'll probably understand from my set of driving.
Okay. Is it as good as Days of Thunder? I love it.
Oh, it's literally one of the funniest things you'll ever see in your life, and that's what we do. Whenever we're getting ready to go out, it's like, I want to go playing. Yeah. We can talk like Ricky Bobby is not a driver, he's not a thinker, Ricky Bobby is a driver. So, yeah.
I was perfectly right at the start when I said G-Power would be full of crack and banter. Because they're going to get me starting laughing. If I start, I don't stop.
I like Days of Thunder as well. I love Tom Cruise and Days of Thunder.
I actually sat and watched it Friday night. After
I've
John went
watched
to
it a
bed,
few
I stuck
times
it on and
recently as
watched
well.
it. She'll not watch the full film. She's watched the first 12 minutes and she was bored. She's another film about cars, and that was it.
Oh.
Well,
There's romance in it. It's a rom-com.
I keep trying to tell her there's more to it than cars, but she hasn't seen that far yet, you know. Right, well, Cheryl, if you could drive any car anywhere, what would you want to drive and where would you want to drive it?
Oh, this is really hard one. I would like to drive a McLaren Senna, and I would like to drive it McBride because it is. I was out there in 2015, and it was just after I'd done a few hill climbs in the plateau, and I drove around the island in my sister's stream, and it just went from like complete mountains to these big long flat straight, and the whole way around it I was like, oh, I wish I had faster cars in there. And she had lived out there for about a year and a half at the time, and she got her first speeding ticket when I borrowed her car for a week.
Okay, a bit of a speed freak there. We couldn't possibly condone speeding now. Couldn't possibly.
No. Well, I mean, to be honest, I just must have seen a sign, you know. Just, it was a foreign country. What could I do? I missed the sign, you know.
We're all done the same. Kathy, if you could drive any car anywhere, what would you drive and where would you like to drive it?
These questions are very difficult. I think, to be fair, I would probably drive any car you give me the keys to, bar maybe a single seater, which I know I'm going to offend quite a lot of people about. But you know, I could have my opinion changed on that if somebody wants to give me the keys to one now, you know. But yeah, I think I would drive pretty much anything, to be honest. I would need an idiot's guide to drive the single seater, to be honest. But yeah, no, absolutely anything at all. Maybe the likes. I was in the Isle of Man at the Manx Rally in 2004, and we did obviously watch the night stage. So something like that, maybe, and a really decent rally car of some description. Yeah, that would be ideal.
Jimmy,
I would quite like to get into navigating, so if anybody's open for that option as well, you know, I'm there.
Jimmy, if you're watching and you see her looking at Mike's ferry ticket signs, once you get the escort finished, hide the keys. You know what's coming.
No, I will not be driving the escort. I have already told him quite a few times I will not be driving the escort. It's too much of a car. No way.
Well, Kathy, you mentioned navigating there.
Yeah.
If you could get a run with somebody, who would you most like to get a run in a car with? As a passenger run.
As a passenger run, there's a couple of people probably, but there's one person who comes occasionally, very occasionally, to the sprints in a black Subaru Legacy, I believe. Michael White.
Yeah.
That thing is a rocket ship, and I don't really have any fear of speed, especially obviously as a passenger. So I would love just to get a run around Kirkson and that, maybe a couple of runs, because he goes that quick, you know, you blink and you miss it kind of thing. So yeah, I wouldn't mind a run in that now, to be fair.
Yeah, yes, I can see the attraction, and he's great to watch when he leaves the line and head for Detters. It's just incredible, the acceleration of that thing.
Yeah.
And coming up the back straight on the long circuit, and he starts to brake for the chicane at the back of the paddock is impressive to watch as well.
Yeah.
Well, I can see your
Definitely
thinking. I like your
worth getting
ideas.
in with, yeah.
He lives right beside me. I can go and ask him if you want.
Well, there's a challenge for you, Cheryl. Cheryl, who would you most like to get a run in the car with?
I really hate being a passenger. I'm maybe a bit of a control freak or something. I just don't like being a passenger in anything. But probably I would like to get out in one of the radicals, either with Jared or obviously with Alan. Just because I want to see where they start taking the corners and things, so I could be a bit more competitive.
Yes, you want to do it for a learning curve point of view.
Bit of cheating,
Whereas you want to learn something. Kathy just wants to feed her speed habit there.
Yeah, you might want to rephrase
that. Maybe didn't sound right. Yeah, no, we'll leave it there. But you know what I mean.
The thrill, I like the thrill of it.
You're a bit of a thrill seeker. Well, you'll be glad to know that we've come towards the end of this. And as always, I've kept the best to last, the most important question to last. So, I'm going to ask it to you both. And Cheryl, you want to answer first. You have been game enough to be interviewed this evening, and I certainly have enjoyed it. The crack has been mighty, as I knew would happen. But Cheryl, who would you like to see interviewed?
I would really like to see Tom Muller interviewed, because he's an absolute gent, and he's a bit of a secret to report.
Right, okay. Tom Muller, right. Tom, I'm sure you're watching this. I'm just writing these down here. Kathy, who would you like to see interviewed?
I feel like maybe Cheryl and I have got telepathic thoughts here, because I would have said Tom Lawler as well, to be fair, because he is an absolute gentleman in the paddock. Everywhere you go, he always has a smile and always has time to talk. But I do have another set of names written down as well, and I would say the Strains. The
Strains? Okay, any of them in particular?
Sure, get them all on there, it'd be grand.
Right, okay. Well, I know I've been speaking to Sturdy and Johnny in the past, so we'll give them a wee shout during the week and see what we can say. But you both mentioned they're telepathic for Tom Lawler, which leads me on very nicely. Thursday night, 8:30, girls. Make yourselves a cup of tea and tune on to Facebook Live, because Tom Lawler and I are going to have a chat on Thursday night. He is our next guest actually for the lockdown Pitlane walk. I was speaking to Tom on Friday, and Tom's actually coming on this week. So you've picked a good one to guess. You're going to get to see your wishes and get Tom on the stage. Davy Francis actually nominated Tom as well. So you're in good company with suggesting Tom. And I'm looking forward to it. I know from talking to him on Friday morning there, he's interested. And Tom goes back a long way in the sport and has some fantastic stories. So he is our next lockdown Pitlane walk guest on Thursday evening at 8:30. So Tom, I'm sure you've been watching this here to see how the girls have done. You've got big shoes to fill with these two girls. The crack was mighty this evening. And we'll see you on Thursday night, Tom. So all I can do now, guys, is to say I'll speak to Sturdy and Johnny again during the week, see if I can coax them. But in the meantime, what I do want to do is thank you both for agreeing to take part. It's been great crack. I really enjoyed myself. I knew it would be a bit of banter with the players when you started, and it was definitely right. Brilliant, good fun. I know Kathy was a bit nervous at the start, and she kept bailing out to go and top her glass up more and coming back again.
I know. I kept topping up my gin. There was a way to top up my gin.
But it's been really good fun to hear from you. I really enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody out there has done too. So Kathy, thank you very much. It's been brilliant. Cheryl, it's been really good fun. Thank you so much. Where you're sitting, I have to lean over the top of my phone to see you. So thank you for participating as well, Cheryl. It's been really good fun. I really enjoyed myself, and I'm sure everybody out there has too. So what I'm going to say now, guys, is if you just bear with me 1 wee second, I'm going to turn the Facebook Live off. So bear with me. Those of you that are watching on Facebook, apologies in advance. You're probably getting an eyeful of something you're not wanting to see here. The girls got a shot earlier on. I've had to rearrange the way it's all set up, and I'm at it upside down, back to front. So bear with me. So tune in, everybody else, Thursday evening, 8:30 for Tom Lawler. It's definitely one to make a big cup of tea for, because I would say when Tom and I start, the crack will be mighty. I really can't wait. Girls, once again, on behalf of myself and everybody else, thank you so much, as we're super sport, really good crack, and I really enjoyed myself. Now, just bear with me, please. I get this posted here.